Tennessee outside linebacker Byron Young here joining us tonight. To ask a question, please hit the raise your hand function. We will start with Brent Hubbs, and then we'll go to David Ubbin.
Yeah, Byron, I'm just curious, what's the transition for you been like in this defense, and what do you think you've done well this spring? And has it been harder than you thought or about what you thought in terms of adjusting?
The transition, it was great. They moved me from a three down front to being in two position. Well, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm adjusting to it pretty well. I felt like I could have, transitioned, over pretty good. So everything been pretty good so far.
When you guys have gone over your practice film and meetings and stuff, describe most of the feedback that you've gotten from coaches on what you've seen this spring.
Well, the feedback, it was mainly starting off with my technique, which I got way better with, but it was just, giving me the knowledge they had, telling me I need to get my footwork way better and stop drop stepping. So I adjusted all that pretty well.
We'll continue with questions. We'll go to Patrick Brown, then Matt Ray.
Hey, Byron, you obviously signed in December for Tennessee's old staff. What's it been like for you getting adjusted to this new staff, and how long did it take you to sort of get comfortable with Coach Banks and what he wants to do with you in this defense?
Getting used to the style, it was pretty easy. I kind of already knew Coach Height from UCF, and I knew Coach Gardner from Auburn. And Coach Banks, I didn't know him too well, but I love the system that he brought in. I feel like it fits me well.
Why do you think it fits you well?
Because the way they got me playing, they kind of got me playing like a true outside linebacker, as in covering and stuff like that. And I could really use my speed on a lot of the plays. So.
Hey, Byron, you kind of touched on it there just a second ago, but with Coach Gardner, you had a relationship with him from your recruitment. Going through that transition phase, how much was he kind of able to help you, and how much of a comfort was it knowing that he was here once he got settled in and that you were going to get the chance to play for him?
Oh, it was a good relief because I didn't know who I was playing for. But Coach Gardner, he's a great coach. He'd be on me every day. He really cares. So the transition, it was really easy being coached by the best.
Ben McKee, then David Pascal.
Yeah, Byron, I'm just curious as to if anybody has kind of taken you under their wing and tried to guide you as you've transitioned to Tennessee.
For sure, it was Tyler Barron and Matthew Butler. Both of them, they saw me struggling at the beginning of spring ball, and they just talked to me and kept me uplifted and told me that they know I'm good, stuff like that. Just keep on working, keep on grinding. And every day, Tyler talked to me and try to help me with my fundamentals and technique. And Matthew Butler too. He stayed with me after practice for we get extra working.
Byron, I hopped on here just a couple of minutes ago, so I'm sorry if you've already answered this, but I was curious just what your time in Milledgeville was like. What did you gain from that, and how has that shaped you now that you're in Knoxville?
Time in Milledgeville. It was an experience, honestly, because it was a military school. It really taught me how to be responsible and accountability and stuff like that. But it was an experience. What
was the toughest part? I mean, you hear about the structure. Was it the wake-up calls, how early you had to get up? What was the toughest part?
The toughest, yeah, it was the wake-ups. We had, had to be in uniform, inspections every day, early in the morning, about 5 in the morning. That was the hardest part. But when you get used to it, and you really want it, you'll kind of adjust to it. So.
Rob Lewis, then Gustavo.
Hey, Byron, kind of back to the Milledgeville thing, just because of how your journey, kind of incredible story that got you here, how driven are you, do you think, to make this pay off and be successful?
No, I'm really driven. When I look back at how, I started, at Milledgeville and I tried out, it really shows me that, I really have a reason of being here. It showed me I could fight through a lot of adversity. So, yeah, I'm really driven right now.
Brian, I know there's been already 2 scrimmages at Inland Stadium, but Saturday's going to be an orange and white game. How excited to have this kind of like practice, but like a game with fans and everything? How excited are you?
I'm really excited. we were practicing so hard this whole spring. I really feel like we made a step forward. So I'm ready for Saturday.
Will Backus, then Brent Hubbs.
Yeah, Byron, a little bit off the football path. I know you guys were practicing yesterday, but I was just wondering what your reaction was to Derek Chovins' sentencing and kind of what the jury's decision meant for you.
Honestly, it was a relief. When I seen it, I feel like we made a step forward. We still have a lot to do with, in our society and stuff like that. But that was a big step forward right there.
Byron, back to football and kind of your journey. Can you put into words kind of what the last year or 9 months have been like? I mean, you're trying to get everybody to find you, and there's no evaluations because of COVID. You can't take a visit. You're at Tennessee and really haven't seen anything. What's it been like, and when did you get comfortable? Like, okay, I'm in the SEC. I'm at Tennessee. I made it. I accomplished that goal. When did you get comfortable at Tennessee?
Honestly, my journey was tough, with COVID and everything. The past year, 2 years, I was really uncomfortable. So something my coach always told me, you got to get used to being uncomfortable. You got to make that you're comfortable. So coming to Tennessee wasn't too hard because I know what my mission is. I know what I want to accomplish. So being uncomfortable, I'm used to it. So it was kind of easy.
Did you have doubts? I mean, with COVID and everything, did you have doubts that somebody would find you and that you would get a chance?
No, sir, I didn't, because I know my ability and how hard I work. My dad always told me, just keep working hard. Your work, you're gonna pay off. Somebody's watching, so.
Patrick Brown.
Hey, Byron, we've talked to a lot of coaches and some of your teammates this year, and you've been a guy that they've brought up quite a bit as a guy that's standing out. Is some of the success you've had right off the bat here, has that surprised you at all?
Surprised me not too much, as in probably, kind of getting the plays down pack that fast, a little surprised, but my ability, I already knew I had the ability to be good and stuff like that.
Eric Kane and Ben McKee.
Hey, Byron, I just jumped on here, so I apologize if this has been asked as well. But I remember speaking with you after Jeremy Pruitt was dismissed, and Josh Heupel came into the program, and I asked you kind of your thoughts. You said, well, kind of what you just said, adversity's kind of been my thing the last couple of years, so I'm used to it. But, how is it now being in here with this system, with Coach Heupel, with Tim Banks, and it looks like you're really finding yourself a nice home?
Honestly, I love it. We one big family. They care about you and your success. So my Coach Heupel, he preaches about it every day, about family and, us coming together as a unit. And I believe in it. I believe in T.
Byron, you talked about Coach Gardner. You also get to deal with Coach Agler. Just what's it like to be coached by two fiery guys? And I imagine practice can be interesting at times with Agler and Gardner, both coaching up the D-line outside backers at the same time.
Oh, yeah, it's never a dull moment. Coach Agler, he's always fired up, lots of energy. Coach Gardner, always fired up. You would never, he always going to have you on your toes. Never. He always going to be on you. So that's what I like about him, that he cared enough to be on you, to talk to you.
Vince?
Byron, two things. One, how much do you think you will split time, or what ratio would you say of the split time between your hand down at defensive end versus stand up at that outside backer position? How does that percentage work out? And then two, is there one of those two areas that you feel like you have excelled at more here during spring practice?
Really is up to me with the being in the 2 down or the 3 down. They really prefer me in the 2 down, but they got certain plays where I could, either play around with it, get in the 3 down, which one I feel most comfortable with. And what was the second question?
Is there an area, whether it's 2 down or 3 down, that you feel like you've excelled at the most?
The 3 down, I was playing 3 down really all my life, and in JUCO too. So I feel like I get off faster in the 3 down, but the 2 down really works better for me because my coverage, when I go into coverage and stuff like that. So really kind of both. I'll say I got better at the 2 down, but I've always been pretty good at the 3 down.
So do you always have that freedom to make a decision on how you want to line up, or is it just certain situations?
Well, they really gave me the freedom to do it, but like I feel like they kind of want me to disguise it sometimes. Don't always, just going to 2 down. Don't always go to 3 down. Just kind of play around with it. Which one I feel most comfortable with at that moment. I feel like.
Wes?
Yeah, Byron, I know that you've said several times that you kind of kept a belief in yourself. And I'm wondering, in your situation, a lot of guys maybe wouldn't have been able to do that. What kept you kind of believing in yourself throughout all this?
My family, they spoke with me every week about keep on grinding every day, and my coaches at GMC. I practice every day hard, and they told me that they're gonna get me out, because I put good film on, good tape on the film and stuff like that. So they said just keep working, keep believing, come in every day, and then we're gonna get you out, and that's what they did.
Were there really never any days where you kind of felt like, all right, I just can't do this anymore? Because a lot of guys, it's a struggle, the game is. And I'm just wondering, were there times where you were ever like, I just can't do this anymore?
No, sir. I was one of the leaders on the team. So like, I'm one of the older guys on the team. So like, I feel like if I started, disbelieving, the other guys going to watch me do it. And then they're just going to follow after my footsteps. So I had to be a leader at the moment. So that's what I did.
Thanks, BY, for your time.
Thank y'all.